before the loan is taken out, is there a protection that I have as a wife or a husband?
Thank you very much, Penny. Thank you for highlighting that. Yes, it's less commonly talked about, unfortunately, but it's something because if you buy a car today, most of us, if you buy a car today, even as you're taking it out of the bond, somebody is going to tell you, take a mukalika alarm. Loosely translated, put an alarm that makes sure that if you're not there, the car does not go anywhere. Now, why aren't we telling people these things in relation to property and resources that they own? Exactly. So, let me tell you, if you own property jointly, you're in a marriage sort of relationship, you own property jointly, or even if you never formally got married, but you contributed and you bought property as a couple, do what the guy of the car is going to do. There's something called a caveat at law.
My ladies, please listen to this.
There's something called a caveat. Yes. A caveat, if I'm to loosely translate, is this legal tool that you use to padlock your property or your interest to make sure that somebody does not do anything with it. They can't deal with it. They can't get a loan on it. They can't sell it. If they do sell it, the person they have sold it to can't put it in their names. Now, that is the bare minimum you should do. You've got property. Don't wait to get issues and distrust each other as a couple. You can even talk about this. You say, for our own protection, to make sure no one comes after us, what I'm going to do, we have this property, I am going to put a caveat on it. There are very many types of caveats. The ones that benefit the children, but a spousal caveat is a very different thing. It's very, very important because it makes sure that anyone dealing with that property, they will go and try and search. If it's land, let's say, there's something we call the land registry at Ministry of Lands. You go, you buy land, that's where you put the land in your names. Now, if the person goes to check if the person selling the land is not a mufere, they will find that Madam Penny Naigaga put a caveat. And it will actually be specific. It will say a spousal caveat. Now, yes, Sebo, you never told me you're married.
Dear husband.
You never told me you're married. So it will do some of these things for you. It will protect you. And we're not just speaking to the women, but we're speaking especially to the women because this happens a lot. We receive a lot of calls and people are saying, I even did this. I contributed this much. And next thing I knew, someone was, the land was sold to us last week. So it's important you do the bare minimums. Padlock your interest. It's not that you're padlocking the property, your interest in the property. That's the first thing you should think about. At law, when you say, I'm taking this thing, and you start even the moment you make that first payment, it's your property.
You get the property rights.
You get the property rights over that thing. And what you're simply doing is fulfilling your contractual obligation to pay the balance. So if things don't work out, what are you supposed to do? If things have not worked out for the person who is selling you that thing, what they should do at law is say, we demand for our balance. We shall sue you for the balance on the property you purchased with us because you committed that you would pay the full amount. It's not of, we've carried our thing, we've gone, bye. What about my money that I put in? So you see, the goal is that the moment you make the first payment, it's yours. Stephen mentioned something. He said, what usually happens is that you marry someone, say, Mchala, bye, ngenza kola. So you leave her home. Go to work. So you're the only guy, the only person in this relationship that gets to earn. Now, it's no longer going to be the case. First of all, we are not saying that it's okay to do that because we are equally entitled to contribute and to earn financially and to express.
A right to work.
Yes, a right to work. It's a right that's available to everyone at the same level. Now, but aside from that, it's no longer going to be the case that you can say, she contributed nothing. She always sits at home. Case was passed by the Court of Appeal a few days ago. It may have a few discussion points here and there, but the point that stood out is that if your partner eventually, God forbid, like I said, has to leave, or you have to leave, you can't say, I built this with my money, I'm the only one who was going to work, so therefore, this house is mine. You can no longer do that. Why? Because the court says everyone is entitled to property based on their contribution. Now, you cannot say she did not contribute because she does not go to work, she did not bring any form of money. What happens now is the court has expressly come out to say even non-monetary contribution, because we have come from such a place as saying the wife looks after children and she cooks my food, she irons my clothes or washes them for some people, but they're washing machines. That aside, where this is going is the court says, but you would otherwise get somebody to do each of these things
and pay them.
And pay them. Yes. So why are you saying I have not contributed? Yet if it were not for me, if I actually folded my hands, you would get someone and pay them.
And pay them, that's right.
And pay them. Some courts, of course, have come out and also added the fact that me staying home means I have also foregone a couple of other economic things I would engage in. If I am a lawyer, I should be able to earn a certain amount of money if there's a minimum wage.
Right.
So if I'm not able to get these things, and that's my contribution, I have foregone what I would have earned. I have also foregone so many things and engaged in things you would pay somebody else for. So it's no longer going to be a given to say, she didn't contribute. Now, she actually can benefit even when you make your wife stay at home. So why not let your wife work? Why not share that burden, half and half?